my woman. I love you, you love me, and you're going to show me enough respect as a man that if you're going to get naked on the internet, you're going to at least reward me in some way. There's not going to be all these men paying you money and you making a bunch of money on the fucking side sitting in my house without me getting shit, because that is disrespectful. And I would not allow her to disrespect me, not just because of my ego, but because of her own innate ability to not be attracted to somebody that she doesn't respect. If you were to come along and play things your way, if a chick were to come to you and say, I want to do OnlyFans, you would say, well, I don't like it. It's kind of annoying, and she started doing it, she would fucking leave. The girl is more likely to stay with me taking all her money than she is stay with you keeping all her money. And that may not make sense to you, but one day you will understand.
Okay. I'm going to fire back at you and just say that whatever my relationship is lacking, whatever amount of respect that I'm losing, and whatever amount of privacy that I'm losing, you can't put a price on that. You can't revert that with money. You just can't do it. Can't do it. I want to feel fulfilled. And what fulfills me is that my partner is fulfilled, and we're both on that like equal mindset, right? And you can't exchange that with money in a transactional way. You just can't. Doesn't matter the amounts. Doesn't matter. It does make me fulfilled. So if the partner can make up for it, whatever they're doing that they're lacking, and they're kind of like reverting it somehow towards me, I guess we can find some sort of compromise, right? But it wouldn't be about money or be transactional money wise. It just wouldn't.
Brother, life is transactional, my friend. And to sit here and pretend that because things are transactional means there's no emotions involved isn't true. Life is transactional. If I'm completely head over heels in love with a woman and I love her with all my heart and I'm ready to take a bullet for her, it's still a transactional relationship. She still provides things and I still provide things that satisfy both of us. You do not sit here and stream for free. Life is transactional. So to sit here and pretend that things shouldn't be transactional is asinine. That's not the way the world works. Every single thing in the world is transactional. Even if I give money to charity, even if Train gives this lady who's massaging me 100,000, he's doing that, one, for clout, two, because he gets to feel good about himself. He isn't, it's not pure charity. He gets to win too.
Actually, wait a second. Wait a second. No, I gotta say something. It's not for clout. If you look me up, I'm actually hated and everything's justified that I do, but it is for the feel good. I get a high from it. The same high I get from gambling, I get from giving. My dick gets hard. So that's transactional, but it is not for clout. I don't give a fuck about it. Just trust me. Do a little research. It is not the clout part, but it is the high part from feeling good. Continue.
Bro, it's the same with me. There's Romania has an orphanage problem. A lot of orphans. Every single Christmas, I go down to the orphanage with the Rolls Royce, give 100 grand, whatever. Am I the fucking nicest man in the world? Well, yeah, but also I feel good. I feel good for doing it, right? Yeah. So life is transactional. So to sit here and say things shouldn't be transactional is asinine. That's not a right paradigm. You must view the world in a transactional sense. The world is transactional.
Yeah, but you're being a little bit obtuse, though. You are deliberately obtuse about what the nature of how we use transactional as a term. You're just saying, oh, it's all transaction. Yeah, of course. Then everything in life, if it goes one way, it comes back another way. That's transactional. So everything is. But that's not how we use the word transactional. Transactional is more of not an indirect. It's more of a direct thing. I'm doing this for that, right? That's how we normally use transactional. The way you're saying is just, oh, it's an exchange of brain chemicals. I'm doing this and I get this brain reward, right? As an exchange. That's kind of that is obtuse.
Fine. Let me change the way I ask you the question, right? Because what I'm actually, and once again, you're only 26. You are smart. I can see you're smart, but you're 26. So if I were in your position and I had disagreed with everything that Andrew Tate had said, and Andrew Tate was going to come on a stream, first I'd have a list of everything he said I disagree with. You don't even have a list. So you haven't been very professional about your approach in this. You don't even know most of the things I've said. You're just saying this about, it's all very general. So in future, please.
Say that again. Sorry about that. I was fucking distracted by bullshit.
Fine. In future, make a list of all my points you disagree with, so we can be more systematic in our approach.
Agreed. The problem is that you're a gish galloper. You're a professional at it. You're really good at doing it. Gish galloping, you do dang, 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 and then it's kind of hard to catch up because once we talk about something, it's already too late.
Cool. Well, let me tell you what you're doing, just so you're aware. If I walk into NASA and I say that going to space is too expensive and too dangerous, and they say, "Well, yeah, I agree with you," and I say, "Okay, this is bullshit," and they go, "Well, what's the alternative?" And I cannot present an alternative. That does not make me a fucking physicist. That does not make me an astronaut. That makes me a jackass. So if you cannot propose a better alternative, then you have no point to make. And this is the point I'm making with you. The parameters of the question are you're in love with a woman who decides to do OnlyFans. You can't break up with her. And I have also added another parameter. You want to retain the respect and the authority in the relationship. You think that taking money in said situation is completely unreasonable and unfair. Fine. What is an alternative which is superior? And if you cannot name one, then it is the best of a bad choice. It may be an unfortunate situation, but it's the best move in a bad chess position, and you must still make the best move. If you have a better move to make, I'm open to hear it. But if I'm in love with a woman and I'm not going to break up with her and she comes with me and she insists on doing OnlyFans, my answer to retain my control and my respect in my relationship is for her to pay me. That is my answer. If you have a better one, my ears are open.
Okay, like I said, whenever somebody does OnlyFans, it's because there's what does that come from? Like, it can be a lot of things of why they would do it. Only money or some sort of fulfillment or whatever, right? Some sort of fulfillment, right? If they're doing it because they're lacking something in the relationship, they're taking something away from the relationship, yeah, that's a fucking problem. I guess break up. If I'm that uncomfortable, I'm not going to put a price on that. I'm not going to be fulfilled in something and spend my entire life with somebody and be committed. There's no price you're going to pay me to be deluded that we're at the same level of commitment. Break up. End of story. No alternative. One alternative, break up. If you're that uncomfortable, I will not put a dollar amount on that. I will fucking break up and move on. And the fact that you can put a price on your lack of commitment or whatever you think you're like, because if they make it OnlyFans,
it's not about the money. It's the principle, chat, right?
What he's saying was a hypothetical. He said in a real normal world, it's like, no, we can't. No OnlyFans, we break up. It is what it is. What he's saying, there's no breakup in this scenario. No breakup. What is the alternative of the transaction?
No, I said break up. That's alternative. You fucking break up.
This is hypothetical though.
Also, X, he's saying it's not about the money. It's the principle behind it.
His hypothetical is like in a situation where you guys aren't breaking up and it's just you need something. What are you gonna do instead?
I have hundreds of millions.
I said broke up.
Okay, cool. Okay, well the point is I have hundreds of millions of dollars, and if my girlfriend did OnlyFans and made $2, she would pay me my $1, and that's because it's principle. It's not
principle. Yeah.
Okay. Bro. Yeah. Still fair enough, but you can't. In my opinion, that the nature of that behavior of putting a dollar amount because of some lack of whatever the fuck
about the
is
fucking
stupid.
Money.
It's an alarming logical conclusion. It's just bad.
What else about me do you find alarming?
No, I'm just saying it's alarming. That's it.
Okay. What else about my views or things you've heard me say or my attitudes or my life approach?
Oh, my girl can't go out. That's fucking alarming as shit.
My girl can't go out?
Yeah.
Okay, let's discuss this. All right, cool. So I take my girlfriends out all the time, right?
Cool.
But if my girl were to say I want to go out with 7 other girls to the club, in my personal experience, I'd be unhappy for her to do that because I've been the man in the club that those 7 girls turn up to and end up on his table, and I know what happens. I've lived a very, very long life. I know how that ends. Now, I think that, and I've discussed this already before. I think I discussed this yesterday with Dave Portnoy, which he got upset about. I discussed that if I'm going to be in a relationship and I'm going to have responsibility over a woman, which I want to have because it's my masculine imperative, I should also have a degree of authority that comes with that responsibility. If I'm responsible for her safety, for example, but she refuses to obey me when I say don't walk home in the middle of the night, then how can I truly be responsible? Responsibility and authority are linked. I'm responsible for her because I'm her man and I take the best care of her. I might know things she doesn't know. She might be 19 years old and think going to the club's all fine. I'm 35. I've been around. I've seen what happens in clubs. No, you don't need to go there. I'm responsible for you. I take care of you. And by extension, I have authority to say to you, you're not going to that nightclub. That doesn't make me crazy. It doesn't make me insecure. It doesn't make me weak. She can always say I'm going to go anyway, and that's fine. And then we can break up. But in my scenario, any woman I'm serious about is going to obey me. And I'm not going to come along with some crazy, maybe people will call it crazy. I'm not going to make her do anything wrong. She ain't going to take drugs. She's going to go to the gym. She's going to eat right. She's going to be learning shit. And she ain't going to be in the club sniffing and drinking. Now, if that makes me a bad person, then so be it. No problem. But I get plenty of girls who sign up to that all day long without problems. And any man who sits there and goes, I'm not insecure, I'll send my girl to the club. Send her to my table, G. Send her to my table. No problem. Send her.
Enough. Okay.
We'll talk about insecurity when she's sucking dick.
Okay, then according to your mindset and how you see things then, and your high levels of security apparently, right? If your girl was to go to the club, right? And I was at the club, you're scared that I will bring your girl home.
I don't live in fear. It's not about scared because I don't live in fear.
That's fear.
No, it's not fear. What it is.
Okay, what is the outcome that you do not want of her going to the club?
I'll explain. I'm a territorial.
Guys coming over and bringing her home. You, by fear, you are scared of her going home with another guy. That is a move that is literally fueled by fear. You are fear.
Jane?
Ça fait combien de temps? 3, 4 ans?
8 ans, 7 mois et 6 jours, plus ou moins.
Les dieux, voici ton mon serment. Tous les dieux vont mourir. Sont parmi nous. Thor, Love and Thunder. Maintenant au cinéma.
Découvrez la sensation de fraîcheur de Frisk.
I'm a territorial.
Guys coming over and bringing her home. You, by fear, you are scared of her going home with another guy. That is a move that is literally fueled by fear. You are fearful.
That's an interesting viewpoint, and I know you think that that's relevant, and I know you think you've made a good point, but I'm about to dissect it and show you why.
Go ahead.
I'm a territorial individual, and I think that being a man, one of the best things about being a man is being territorial, being able to say, that is mine. That's the whole point of it. So let's use an analogy. And please, when I make this analogy, I don't want you to try and get caught up in the analogy because I'm about to compare a woman to a car. Do not say, you're comparing women to cars. That's low IQ. This is just an analogy. If I go outside, right, or let's say I have a Lamborghini. I have many cars, but let's say I take my Lamborghini. Would I park it in a high crime area? Even if the locks are fantastic, even if my woman is loyal and completely and utterly in love with me, and I know there's 0% chance any man could ever take her home because she's with the top G, which is the case. Even if I know the locks on my car, it has bulletproof glass, it's locked, you can't break into it. Will I park my Lambo in an area where people are going to try and steal it?
That's a good analogy,
I won't, because
bro.
that is irresponsible. So the fact is, I don't care if men